歡迎收睇美國專訊。咁今集嘅節目，我哋首先介紹一名真菌學家及攝影師。咁佢喺過去20年嚟咧，捕捉咗好多令人讚歎嘅自然景象。咁下邊係記者費多嘅介紹。
So I got into mushrooms first, and then I got into photography later so I could document my mushrooms. And I really learned photography the wrong way, and that's just by taking bad photos for years and years. So anything before 2010 is completely unusable. You know, what I really should have done is just ask like my dad or someone like, hey, how do I take a really good picture of a mushroom? But instead, I just got a camera and started just using it, and yeah, it was so bad. So now I can teach someone how to take really good mushroom pictures in, pretty short amount of time, just like in a day. I can, teach everybody the things that it took me probably 20 years to learn to teach myself because I'm stubborn.
Oh.
And the other way to get a good picture of this would just be to close the aperture down. So that way I'm not stacking, I'm just taking a picture. There's a lot of reasons that it's important to photograph nature. One of them is scientific documentation, so you can record all of the features that you see. The other is just to get people excited about nature. So if you can take a really good picture of something out in nature, you can share it on social media, and thousands of people will see this picture and they'll be like, wow, that thing is really cool. I want to see something like that. I want to be able to take pictures like that. So you can really spark people's enthusiasm and excitement about nature with a good photograph. The light was just coming from behind the mushroom. So the light was like, the sunbeam was kind of coming at me, and I'm just kind of on the shadow side. That's the only picture I've ever taken like that. I love how it turned out. Mushrooms are just really interesting. One reason is that, I've always liked to be out in nature, but I would kind of feel like I wasn't really making a good use of my time when I was out in nature, because sure, I get a little bit of exercise, and sure, it's pretty out there, but, am I really furthering any of my goals when I'm out in nature? So I almost felt guilty just like spending all my weekends wandering around trails. But then when I got into mushrooms, I have an actual objective, and I tell myself, no, I'm not wasting my time. When I was in high school, I got really into computer hacking, so I was doing a lot of illegal breaking into computers, because when you're 14 years old, like breaking into an army base is like super cool. But when I graduated from high school, then I started working in industry doing computer hacking for companies and governments. It's true that computer hacking and nature photography and studying mushrooms are complete opposites, and that's why I like them so much. Because, you can do a lot of powerful things on the computer, but then you're sitting indoors at a desk all the time, and it's really cool to be out in nature, but you kind of need the computers to record and share what you're finding in nature. And if I spend half my time indoors on the computer or in the laboratory, and half my time outdoors in nature, it adds really good balance to my life, so I don't get tired of either one.
下邊就係我哋嘅記者韋斯帶大家去到阿拉斯加州一個社區，睇下當地嘅居民點樣去收集海藻作為主要嘅糧食。
You're gonna go to Homer today. The thing I love about our day seaweeding, which I've done since I was a small child, which is that the whole community comes together.
We gotta feed 15 hungry mouses that's gonna harvest beautiful seaweed. And this is a great source of energy. Plant-based energy.
We're gonna go down to Homer and catch a boat across the bay and pick seaweed for our seaweed for the year.
Ionia is like a safe haven that we created 30 years ago. A group of us found each other in the movement called Macrobatics in Boston. And we had in common trouble thriving and surviving in the modern world as it is. So we created this little village where we could eat simple foods and be involved with nature and learn how to relate more kindly with each other so that we could really find that support that we needed and create a world that made more sense to us that we wanted to bring our kids up into and ourselves up into. We had a dream of a rurally based village, but we were all city folk. We had no idea how to do that. We had no money and nothing going for us. And we heard that there was free land in Alaska. And we heard that there was this thing called the Alaska Permanent Fund, which was a little payment for every man, woman, and child that happens every year. Not me, but some of us got the crazy idea to go to Alaska and try to homestead. So I was dragged up here pretty much kicking and screaming, but I came, and after a few years, I just fell in love with the place. We found this land. It wasn't free, but it was $300 down and $300 a month, and we could do that. And we took our first year of permanent funds, which was a whole lot, because it was a bunch of us, and we just pooled them all together, and we're like, wow, that's more money than we've ever seen anywhere. Every day is different. I love the dream of a village. I think it's a wonderful way to live on the planet. And I hope that Ionia can be a little example for other experiments and projects like this all over the planet.
Get you away from me. Hold me like you'll never let me go.
And it keeps me sane. It keeps me on the right track. It keeps me nourished. As long as it does that, I have no reason to think about anything else ever. Yeah.
多謝收睇美國專訊，再會。